Hey, this is Scott at Big Dog Pawn. We are, take 54, we are doing Compressor 101 today. This is going to teach you guys a lot about what goes on with the compressors. We get so many compressors that are broken. I'm tired of it. So this Compressor 101, this will teach everybody a lot. First and foremost, whenever a tool comes in, look for that serial number. Most tools have serial numbers. Not all of them, but most tools will have a serial number, and you can find out in a hurry. So check for that serial number first. It's required by law that we record the serial number, make, model, engravings, color, paint, full description. Anything you can think of, throw it in there. Dual tank. This is 2 tanks. Call it a dual tank. Call it gray. Senko. Model. Look for it. But there should be a serial number. It's usually not in this area. It's usually going to be down on a plate. But serial numbers are always going to have the SN and then the number, or say serial number. But none of those plates or stickers say serial number. So you've got to look farther and make sure that it isn't just a base number or a plate number. But look, there's a number. That's the one we want because it's SN. Now, be careful on these stickers. They will sometimes, these guys that have stolen them, they'll go and take a peel of sticker off of something else and try and put it on the tool they're pawning to mislead, and you can't ever find it if it is a stolen compressor. So make sure the sticker looks right on the compressor, that it hasn't been manipulated. Now, if the serial number is missing part of the number, you cannot take it. Period. It has to be a full, visible, readable number. So if part of it's missing, you're done. Sir, I can't take it. I'm so sorry. We have to have full serial numbers. I gotta let you go. So now you haven't wasted all your time testing it, all that stuff. You're done. So the next thing you want to do after you verify it's got a model, serial number, you're ready to roll. Take pictures of them with your phone, get the information, go back in, enter it. So you don't have to mess around. Next thing you want to look at the overall quality of this thing. Well, I've had this for years, and yeah, it's a little dusty, a little dirty, but I haven't wiped it down or tried to clean it. And they do get a little dirty, and they can even be dirtier than this. But you'll see them come in that got more grease and black and dirt on them than you've ever seen in your life. Really, it takes years and years of usage to get them that dirty and beat up and chipped up, and just pass on them. There's no reason to take them. They're probably broken and they're hiding something. Make sure we want good quality product. Can't be brand spanking new, but it shouldn't be beat to hell. There's no reason to deal with POSs. We can't sell it. It just ends up going in the room of death. Everybody who works for us knows what the room of death is. And that's just money out of our pockets. These are paperweights if they don't work right. So once the quality seems okay, then we want to start really being nitpicky and make sure all the parts and pieces are there and the cords are properly. So before you ever plug a compressor in, check that cord out. That is a good quality cord. It's got a ground. There's no breaks in the cord, there's no exposed wires. And so now we're going to look at the cord as we go on up, and we're going to see where it ties into the compressor. All these cords and pipes and tubes, they all should look good. No kinks, no wires showing. You don't want to have this big, huge bend in here with electrical tape all around it. They've cut the cord and redone it. You can't put them on a job site like that. They're not acceptable that way. So make sure, and safety. We don't want to burn somebody's house down. So make sure they're good quality cords, and that'll let you know the compressor has not been used and abused. So once all that looks good, get it plugged in and answer your phone. Hang on, I'm going to grab that phone. You know it's a solicitor. Hello? I am in the middle of making a video, so I will get right back with you, but I'm not going to buy your timeshare. Thank you. Okay, so anyway, back to the video. Here we go. So the first thing we want to do, once we verify everything looks good, plug it in, now it's safe to turn on. So you want to check everything on it, and the very first thing you want to check as the quality of the compressor, first thing to break is those darn gauges. So there's two gauges on the compressors. One is your inline pressure, your hose pressure. The bottom one is going to be your tank pressure. So your inline pressure you can always tell by where the hose hooks in. So your hose gets in there. Now this one here is going to move once you do your pressure regulator. You can let pressure out of the hose, or you can put more pressure in the hoses for like a big nail gun. But you should, with this regulator, once there's air in the tanks, you should be able to manipulate that gauge. But this gauge really isn't going to move because this is your tank pressure. So this one will start to go up once we turn the compressor on and it starts running. So that's what we want to see, is we want to see it run. We want to see that Mercoid switch work. What a Mercoid switch does, and its purpose is to tell the compressor when to turn on and when to turn off. So we want to make sure it's working right, because if it's not working right, it's never going to turn off, and it'll drive nuts. They'll return it, go to the room of death. Woo! Here we go again. So the best way to do it and test a Mercoid switch is fill the compressor up, and then this is called a relief valve. And this will take air off. It's kind of noisy, kind of scary, but just pull it out, put it back in. And once you let enough air off that head, it's going to go ahead and start that compressor up. Once the compressor's full enough, it's going to shut off. But if it's broken and won't shut off, instead of blowing it up, this one, and it will let it off. But hold it, it's not going on. Well, what we got to do, we got to turn it on. So far there's air there, but it's not on. Now these things, this one's pretty noisy. Most compressors are about this loud. If it's so loud that it's shaking the whole building, you know there's a problem with it. So let this thing go all the way up. Then what they take it, you might have to do a little dipping, have to advance the customer, but really you should know look at the gauges. Let's make sure they're working. This gauge really isn't going to move, but your tank wants to go. That's telling you the pressure of the tank. The only way to get this one to move is turn. Okay? So once this one is higher than this one won't move anymore. So now that it's off, listen. Nada. No air leaks. Gauges are holding. We're good. If you do hear an air leak and it's on the bottom of the tank or side of the tank and it's coming out of here, these are drains. So what this does is that it drains the condensation out of the tanks. And if you leave liquid in the tanks too long, it'll actually rust right through the bottom of the tanks. So be careful when you open these up. There is the rustiest, dirtiest, nastiest water you've ever seen. I'm not kidding you. It'll ruin your carpets, ruin your floors, ruin your parking lot. Make sure you put something under it or go do it somewhere where it's not going to ruin it. So what you do is you open it up, and that'll drain it. And it'll let you, so if you're hearing air out of there, go ahead and tighten it up. It's just clockwise, counterclockwise. Righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. Remember that. So that's your way to test your Mercoid switch, making sure it turns on properly, turns off properly, and there's no leaks. And besides that, I want to keep looking and make sure it seems like all the parts and pieces are there. So I see these handles sometimes all cracked, messed up, chips all over the paint. It's not looking good because it's been used and abused. So this one here, no cracking in the handle, no bends anywhere on any of the pipes. It hasn't been thrown around. None of the housing is cracked. You want to make sure that's in good shape. Sometimes the Mercoid switch is missing the case. This filter's broken off. Be careful. If they're trashed, chances are there's going to be an issue. So as I see this, I would think that, what is this red thing? Well, there's two kinds of compressors. There's a oil compressor and oil-less compressor. This is an oiled compressor because it's got a place to put some oil in. What you want to do is make sure you, on these, take them out and make sure there's a little oil on the bottom of that stick. If it's empty and dry, they've probably run it without the oil and ruined the darn thing. But I'll tell you what, this is few and far between. Most of them are oilless nowadays, and you do not have to worry about it. So most of them don't have this. The other thing is, I'm looking at this compressor, I go, okay, I need to give them as much information as possible. I'm going to do the serial number we already found, make, model. I'm going to tell them it's a dual tank. I'm going to tell them it's gray. Much description as possible. That's our goal. We want, especially if we're trying to find the darn thing. You can go one step further, 4.3 gallon, 4.4, as much information. It doesn't matter. The more, the better. But you don't have to go crazy. We are only supposed to do make, model. But if there's other stuff, we're going to put it on there. I see it all spray painted. Nobody wants to buy a spray painted with somebody's orange or pink or whatever. Chances are you just want to pass on those. And the other thing is, I got a sticker on here. And if I was looking at this compressor, I would be curious, why did that guy waste a good sticker on a compressor? Those are for hard hats, for toolboxes, for your bumper. So be suspicious. Stickers all over something. A lot of times they're trying to hide something. So don't pull them off. It'll piss them off. But just look. Be a little bit more keen on what's going on. We are always trying to get good products. I don't want to see them with all these feet missing because it shakes the hell out of the darn things. They don't work right. If it's got wheels on it, check those wheels out as good as you can. Sometimes they're broken, sometimes they fall off the first time we put them out for sale. You're pulling along and it's like, you know, thump, 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 thump. How long's that darn thing? Let's get some good quality product, guys. And I want to make sure that we never, ever, ever take another broken compressor. If we did that, woo! Scott's happy. So check this video out. If you need to refresh, watch it again. Doesn't matter. We're going to put out a whole bunch more of different things so that I quit putting things in the room of death. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you listening.